Oh, yeah. Is it Thursday already? Wow. What a crazy week it has been for us Star Wars fans. From the Acolyte being canceled and not getting a second season to Boba Fett possibly not coming back for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Also, Star Wars Outlaws is only 8 days away, where we can be playing our first ever open world Star Wars game. And to top it all off, today is exactly 1 year since Ahsoka it premiered today, a year ago. So we got a lot to get into today. We got some Star Wars news to talk about. We got a lot to get into. So, everybody, how's everybody doing on this fine Thursday afternoon? Today's Thursday, right? How's everybody doing on this fine Thursday afternoon? Let's open up the chat, see how everybody's doing. What's up, chat? How's everybody doing? Ben, what is up? Galaxy Love in the house. Adam, what is up? Dominic, how we doing? MD, what is up? Maggie in the house. Agnes, what's up? Chris, how we doing? Mando United. Starship 66. Kit Fisto. Chris and Rexter. Nathan, how we doing? Kit Fisto. Oh, I already said Kit Fisto. Lee, what is up? Jedi Hangouts in the house. Brandon Baker, what is up? Cornerstone Worship, what's up? Force Hook, how we doing? If I missed you, I apologize. You know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Let's give everybody a nice
hello there.
All right. So we got the hot topic of hot topics to talk about today, as over the last probably 72-ish hours, everybody's been talking about the Acolyte being canceled. There not being a second season for this Acolyte show. Many fans are bummed out. Some fans are praising the whole thing. It's a chaos online, but we're going to be talking about what the future of these characters from the Acolyte show actually looks like, and why this show was canceled, why it's not getting a second season, and why they're using the word canceled rather than just letting it fizz out like they did with the Book of Boba Fett and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. We're going to talk about all of it, but first things first, I want to put up a poll that we did the other day, so if you haven't smashed a freaking like on the stream, what the hell are you waiting for? And let's do this poll, shall we? So this poll is going to be, do you still want an Acolyte Season 2? So are you still holding out hope that we could be getting a second season? And do you want a second season still? Where are we at, chat? And thank you, Maggie. Yes, let's celebrate a little bit. We got a little bit to celebrate this week. This is a celebration week, even though we got some bad news to talk about. It's still a celebration week, so let's celebrate 75K. It still blows my mind. I don't get it. I appreciate all of you guys so much more than you will ever know. 75,000 subscribers is absolutely insanity. I don't understand it. We're talking about today how it's the 1 year anniversary of the Ahsoka series, and a lot of you guys actually came on board the channel around the Ahsoka series because a year ago today we only had 2,000 subscribers. 2. Now we're up to 75, and it's absolutely insane. I cannot thank you guys enough for hitting that subscribe button if you have not yet, but I appreciate all of you so much. So much. It's absolutely insane. So, we're celebrating a few things today. 75K, Ahsoka 1 year, and of course, Star Wars. Because that's what we do around here. We celebrate Star Wars. Even when we talk about the bad news, we're still celebrating the greatest franchise of all time, and that is Star Wars. Okay, so Did Disney/Lucasfilm still say it was canceled? No. So they still haven't said one way or another yet whether or not this Acolyte show is canceled or not. They're still kind of leaving us in silence. There's still no word either way from Lucasfilm themselves whether or not there will be a second season of the Acolyte. However, yesterday a lot of fans were losing their minds because this happened. Let's take a look at this. On the Disney store, the Acolyte, all the merchandise was taken down. Fans were very concerned and worried about this because this could have meant crazy implications, as I tweeted out and said, do not delete this show like Willow. Because if you guys know, give me a 1 into the chat if you know what I'm talking about when I say don't delete this show like Willow. Do you know what I'm saying? Willow was turned into a show. So Willow's a very, very famous movie created by George Lucas and Lucasfilm. and back in the 80s. Is it? Yeah, 80s, right? Yeah. And recently, by recently I mean the last 2 years, they created a show called Willow on Disney Plus. And the views were very low on it. It didn't really get much traction at all. Not many people watched the Willow show. Tell me in the chat if you watched the Willow show. I didn't even watch it. But after about 6 months of being on Disney Plus, the Willow show disappeared. It was taken off of Disney Plus. So if that could happen to the Willow show, and I understand that Willow's a way smaller IP or franchise than Star Wars is, but if it could happen to the Willow show, it could probably happen to anything else. We've seen HBO series and Amazon. Actually, I don't even know if it's happened to Amazon Prime, but we know for a fact that HBO Max has deleted some shows as well. It's sort of like a tax write-off thing. I really don't know how it works, but it works in some sort of way. So they can write it off as a tax write-off instead of a show that's currently on their platform. So I'm really hoping, or I was really hoping yesterday, that they won't take off the Acolyte show from Disney Plus. That would be a disaster. There's so many Star Wars fans that really enjoy this show, myself included. And now, today, I actually have good news because I don't think this is happening anymore. I really, really don't think they're deleting the show off of Disney Plus because that would just be insanity. If you delete one show off Disney Plus, then all are up on the chopping block and that becomes a problem. However, the things have changed. I did fact check this myself yesterday, and there was indeed no results found for the Acolyte on the Disney store. However, today, things have changed. You go over to the Disney store, and you have Acolyte merchandise. Granted, it's only 3 shirts, but it is Acolyte merchandise nonetheless. So Disney is listening, as of course they always are, to the fans. And they heard our pleas for our plead for help. I don't even know. And they heard us. That's the biggest thing. They heard us, and they put the Acolyte merchandise back on the Disney Plus or Disney Store, and that is the good news. They are listening clearly, intently to the fans, and maybe, just maybe, this is good news for all those fans that want a second season of The Acolyte, because Renew the Acolyte, hashtag Renew the Acolyte, has been trending for the last 72 plus hours on Twitter, on wherever you look. It's trending all over the place, and as we look right now, it is still currently, oh, my head's in the way. It is still currently trending right there. So, Renew the Acolyte has been trending for quite some time, and yes, I don't know what this is. But yes, so Renew the Acolyte has been trending for quite some time, and it continues to trend on Twitter, and it's all over the place on other social media platforms as well. So maybe, just maybe, there is a small sliver of hope that the Acolyte Season 2 could still happen. Now, with that being said, even if Acolyte Season 2 does not happen, and we never see the character of Osha, May, Chimere, Venestra ever again, there's one character from the Acolyte that I think is almost impossible to never see again, and that is Darth Plagueis. Plagueis, of course, being the master to Palpatine, is one of the most important characters in Star Wars lore. And the first time we ever saw him in live action was just over a month ago in the finale for the Acolyte series. So seeing more of Plagueis in a possible Plagueis show, or even a young Palpatine show, is always on the table, and hopefully something that's being talked about on the back ends at Disney right now. Because if you want to make a lot of money, you want to get a lot of views, how about a young Palpatine with Darth Plagueis training him? That's just going to be a enormous boom for Disney Plus. But that's just my own personal opinion. Okay, so that's the good news. The Acolyte stuff is back on the Disney Store, which is fan-frickin-tastic. But let me read some chat really quickly. I just searched up on the Disney Store. The Acolyte and 4 shirts came up. Yes, they did replace them. Well, they did re-add them, so to speak. The Willow movie was awesome. The Willow movie is really good. I actually never even watched the show, so I can't speak to it. But a lot of people who watched it didn't really enjoy it, and it didn't get a lot of views, and then it got taken off. So people are very concerned that the Acolyte might be going down the same path. But I hope not. Yeah. I watched episode 1 of The Willow Show, and it was really, really bad. Again, I can't say anything to it, because first of all, even if I wanted to watch it, it doesn't exist anymore. But I didn't watch it, so I can't really say anything. Yeah. I want an Acolyte Season 2 and Season 3. Again, I want to see what Season 2 would look like. Here's my biggest thing. And I've been thinking about this for, of course, the last 4 days now since this news came out, or 3-4 days, whatever it is. But here's my biggest thing when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, The Acolyte is an incomplete story. Season 1 ended with a bunch of story to be told. Vanestra Rho and Kymir's backstory, how their falling out happened, what their relationship really looked like, and of course, Darth Plagueis. Who doesn't want to see more Darth Plagueis training Osha and Kymir or doing whatever? Maybe he kills Kymir, takes Osha as an apprentice. Who knows? Maybe he kills both of them and then goes get Palpatine 50 some odd years later. There's an insane amount of story to be told for a second season, and that's just the bottom line. End of the day, that's it. There's so much story to be told in a second season that fans wanted it. Fans who were fans of the first season really, really, really wanted the second season. So for the last couple of days, we've been very, very bummed out that we're not going to be getting a second season. And that's it. If you didn't like the Acolyte show, then you're probably celebrating that there's not a second season. But what's the point of going on and crapping on other people going, ha ha, told you, second season's not going to happen. Like, what's the point of that? What's the point? If you didn't like it, that's perfectly fine. And if you did like it, it's a bummer. It's an absolute bummer, because guess what? Other shows like Obi-Wan Kenobi that didn't really perform too well, or I guess it did perform well, but not towards the end. The Book of Boba Fett that didn't really perform too well. Those two series haven't received a second season. But guess what? They also haven't been canceled. So the fact that The Acolyte has been canceled is quite the bummer to a lot of fans. Indeed. B-Man, what's up? Lee says, Acolyte maybe only canceled producers/writers, etc., as Manny Jacinto's screen test was better than they expected. So the original concept has changed. So what was to be was canceled, maybe? Oh, so you're saying like maybe there'll be a spin-off show about Kymir's character. I've heard this theory a lot over the last couple of days. I just don't see it happening that way. If they were going to do a second season and maybe even rebrand the show to be called like The Stranger or something along those lines, then they wouldn't say that it's canceled. The fact that Lucasfilm or Disney hasn't said anything yet, and it's been 3-4 days now, leads me to believe that this show is indeed canceled. I'm sure they would have said something by now if this wasn't the case. So it's not looking too good. Yeah. Double A says, your real enemies are Disney and Lucasfilm, not us people that give an opinion if the show is good or bad. They pour out poor quality in written content with and characters. The ratings are bad, as simple as that. It's not as simple as that, though. Because I'm sitting here and we're going to be celebrating the Ahsoka 1-year anniversary today later on in the stream, and that show is fan-frickin-tastic. Disney's also given us some incredible peak Star Wars stuff before, from The Mandalorian to Rebels to Rogue One. So from movies to shows to animated shows to video games in Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm hoping that Jedi Outlaws, I keep calling it Jedi Outlaws, I'm hoping that Star Wars Outlaws is just as good as those games as well. They've given us peak Star Wars content time and time again. So no, it's not a Lucasfilm and Disney problem. Sure, there's some problems going on over there. I'd love to see a young Palpatine show. I'd love to see a Old Republic movie trilogy, millions of trilogies. But it is a problem nonetheless. It's a bigger problem than just Lucasfilm, just Disney, just the Star Wars fandom, just anything. It's a combination of all of these things coming together in this perfect storm. Like I meant, give me a 1 into the chat if you saw my video from yesterday. Give me a 1 into the chat if you saw my video from yesterday. Because I talk about this perfect storm in that video, and I think it's probably the perfect explanation to this whole situation going on here. Why The Acolyte was canceled is because of all these different aspects colliding together in one perfect storm. It's the 18% that it currently sits on at an audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the fans screaming so loud about how much they hated this show week in and week out, and the people who loved the show just weren't talking about it, or weren't yelling loud enough, I should say. We were kind of the minority in that scenario. Then you have the fact that a lot of, how do I put this? a lot of people didn't even give this show a chance. Never once did they give this show a chance. I mean, we talked about it a million times before, but it sat at a 13% before the first episode even released. So the show was never even given a chance in the first place. And it's been time and time and time again where this Star Wars fandom has just become more and more and more divided. And it's not just the Acolyte show. It's Andor, it's Ahsoka, it's the Book of Boba Fett, it's Kenobi, it's every freaking series that comes out nowadays. A Skeleton Crew is probably going to be the same. Even Jedi.
Incorrect.
Star Wars Outlaws is probably going to be met with a very diverse opinion when it comes out in just a few short 8 days. It's not going to change. That's the problem. The Acolyte was just kind of morphed into this perfect storm, and that is why it has been canceled. Yeah. Did you hear about Manny Jacinto going to a Dragon Con in Atlanta next week? I did not. And what the hell is a Dragon Con? I did not. Willow was cool? Okay. Oh, the Willow movie you're saying. I get you. People comparing the Acolyte's poor viewing minutes as compared to shows that have been out for years more. Yeah, the whole viewership number thing is still kind of coming out. The Acolyte started at a very high viewership number. The premiere was almost as high as Ahsoka was, which is extremely high. It's where the finale ended is what fans are mostly focusing on, and it is the lowest viewed finale of any Star Wars Disney Plus series. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It is the lowest viewed finale. So it's been mostly compared to Andor because Andor is the lowest viewed show before the Acolyte. Andor started a lot lower than the Acolyte started at the premiere level, but by the finale, Andor had more viewers. So it's a completely different sort of track. Andor was going uphill, and Acolyte was going downhill. It's weird because Andor was going uphill when almost all other Star Wars projects go downhill. They start off with a very high premiere, and then it just goes downhill from there. Very interesting. Okay. Acolyte isn't a typical show. It's an abomination. Oh my God. No. I was thinking about this today, actually, this morning before I got on this live stream. The Acolyte is almost exactly what I would hope for a Star Wars project. Let me phrase that differently. It's exactly what I hope for a Star Wars project outside of the Skywalker saga. It does almost everything correctly. It introduces a brand new cast of characters in a very, very good way. It has extremely cool new added lore to Star Wars, and it's got incredible lightsaber sequences. So you have cool characters that you fall in love with and grow attached to. Some too quickly. Yord getting his neck snapped, Jecki getting stabbed in the chest 3 times, and Soul getting choked out in the finale. So sometimes you grow attached to the wrong characters. But you do get an interesting new look at the Star Wars universe in a different time period. Now, 100 years before The Phantom Menace is completely different than 25,000 years before The Phantom Menace, like the Dawn of the Jedi movie is going to be, but it's still a new time period in the Star Wars galaxy. Because from start to finish, from The Phantom Menace to Rise of Skywalker, I believe it's only, 67 years? Something like that? Somebody fact check me on that in the chat. But I believe it's only something like 60 to 68-ish years. So going 100 years before that is already further away than the entire Star Wars story is. So you're going in a completely new time period. And it brings in the old legacy character type thing, with Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of The Mandalorian, or Ahsoka Tano showing up in the Book of Boba Fett with of course, Luke Skywalker as well. But the Acolyte even had that aspect to it as well, giving us the first ever live-action version of Darth freaking Plagueis. I mean, come on! And it also gave us Yoda and Ki-Adi-Mundi. But it did everything right. And for its own... Being that it came out at this time where Star Wars fandom could not be more divided, if the Acolyte show came out 10 years ago, it would be met completely different. We'll put it that way. Maybe even if it came out 10 years from now, who knows what the future looks like. But if it came out 10 years ago, in 2014, it would have been a completely different show. It would have been completely different. Absolutely completely different. So, I don't know. It's very, very interesting, this whole conversation around the Acolyte. because the show itself, I think, is really, really good. And obviously you can say that it's not, but that's your opinion, and that's my opinion. And I'm not here to change your opinion. But the conversation around the show, not about the show, but around the show, would be completely different if it was 2, 3, 4 years ago. And it's very interesting, if I do say so myself. Kit Fisto says, Mike, it's been a year since I became a Star Wars fan. The Ahsoka series is the first Star Wars thing I watched? That's pretty cool. I never really think about it that way because I've watched so much Star Wars in my lifetime. But every show that gets released could be the first ever show that a Star Wars fan is watching. And that's pretty damn cool. Ahsoka is a great starting point if you want to become a fan, because then you can just go watch all the Clone Wars and Rebels and just get so much Ahsoka stuff. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hashtag renew the Acolyte, indeed. How Run a Base says, I want a whole trilogy of movies to continue the Acolyte series. I don't know about that. I just want a second season. I want to see more Plagueis, first and foremost, and I want to see that story continue with Venestra Rowe, Kymir, in their backstory. It could be something. Well, we're going to get some sort of explanation to this because somebody brought this up in the last stream. But what about those prequel novels that were announced just a few weeks ago? Because there was 2 prequel novels announced for the Acolyte series at San Diego Comic-Con that are going to come out next year, I believe, right? 2025. So those 2 prequel novels, one's going to be about Venestra and Master Indara, and the other one's going to be about Jeki and Yord. So clearly, Disney's not completely neglecting the characters and the story of the Acolyte because they're still going to be releasing prequel novels. So for those fans that are holding out hope that there could be a possible second season still, as long as they're still telling stories around this time period, I think there's always the opportunity that there could be a second season of the Acolyte, especially since we haven't heard a single peep from Lucasfilm about there not being a second season. Yeah. I appreciate the hearts, guys. I really do. I see them. I see them. Yes, they heard the plea. Indeed, they did. They added 3 shirts. Well, they added the 4 shirts back. Indeed. Indeed, they did. Okay, where was I? Your pal Joe, what is up? Connor, how we doing? Okay, where the hell was I? It just scrolled down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? Okay, here we go. Double A says, normies want to know about Plagueis. Go read the Darth Plagueis book. That's all you need to know. Well, the Darth Plagueis novel is still Legends. I want more canon Plagueis. If you're new around this channel, then you might not know this. But if you've been around the channel for a while, you know I love canon Star Wars. I like some Legends stories, don't get me wrong. Heir to the Empire, fantastic. The Darth Plagueis novel is incredible. But I would rather see a canon story told than a legend story told. So getting Darth Plagueis in live action in The Acolyte was like just a dream. It was a dream. And now not getting any more Darth Plagueis is like getting that dream just stripped away from you. So yes, you can go learn more about Plagueis in the Darth Plagueis novel, but that's not that's Legends material. It's not canon information. So I want more canon Darth Plagueis. Lee says, how official is this article anyway? Darth Zipperface may be now season 2 called The Master or Tales of the Something in some spin-off like The Ronin, etc. I don't know. It's not looking good. I understand the hope and the dream of seeing a second season or even it be turned into something else, maybe called The Stranger or Tales of Kymir or Darth Zipperface Returns. Somehow Darth Zipperface Returns. I get that. And I'm still holding out hope deep down inside. But the fact that Lucasfilm still hasn't said anything after 3-4 days, it's not giving me any hope. We'll put it that way. Okay, let's read the original article again, shall we? Just bits and pieces, because I want to focus on specific things. This is the original article that everybody is focusing on. Deadline released this on Monday. On Monday at 4 o'clock, and every article you've seen since then has been based off of this one. There's been nobody else that has reported this except for Deadline. Everybody else who is reporting it off of Deadline's report. So let's read the article again, shall we? Oh, that's because I had to move that because of my big ass head. All right, here we go. The Acolyte canceled. No season 2 for the Disney's Star Wars series. Exclusive. The story of the Acolyte will not continue, with Lucasfilm opting not to proceed with the second season of the Star Wars offshoot starring Amanda Steinberg. Sources tell Deadline. This has been focused on quite a bit over the last couple days. Sources tell Deadline. No source to be seen, and no Lucasfilm to be heard. Words of the decision come more than a month after the eight episode series. After the 8-episode first season of the series, from creator, director, executive producer, and showrunner Leslie Headland wrapped its run on Disney Plus. This news is not entirely surprising. The Acolyte did okay with the critics at a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes, but divided the Star Wars fans, which was reflected in the overall viewership numbers. And we're going to get to the viewership numbers in a second. But driven by interest into let's get to the numbers here. Yeah, so it came out to a 4.8 million views on the premiere, which is almost the same amount as Ahsoka. I believe Ahsoka was 5.1 or something like that. And then it finished off around 11.1 in its first 5 days, which is, again, on track for Ahsoka numbers. It's where it fell off towards the end. Now, let me get to this down here. Yeah, so Leslie Headland recently was talking about her hopes for a renewal for a second season in interviews. So I've heard, and there's rumors going around, so take this with a giant grain of salt because it might not be true, but it is a rumor nonetheless, that Leslie Headland has been working on the second season of The Acolyte since February. So for the last 6 months, she's been working on a season 2 for this Acolyte series. And now, with this article being released, now it seems as though this has been scrapped. So there was a season 2 in production, or not in production, but in pre-production. It was at least being written by Leslie Headland herself. There was an idea to bring together a group of... wrong franchise. There was an idea for a second season, and that has now been scrapped. So again, for those of you holding out hope, there has been an idea for a second season, and it does exist. It's more whether or not we'll actually see that second season. Yeah. All I want is for the story to be complete. Galaxy Love, I could not agree with you more. I just want to see more of these characters and get the story to be completed. Chimera is one of the coolest, most intriguing characters we've seen in Star Wars in years. Probably in a decade at least. Since Disney bought Star Wars, he's one of the coolest characters. He's up there with Din Djarin, Cal Kestis, Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger, Kylo Ren even. Like, he's one of the coolest characters that we've gotten from this Disney era of Star Wars. And now we're only going to get one season of him and never see him again? That's just wrong. It's wrong for so many reasons, because he's such a cool character. And Manny Jacinto did such an amazing job, and you canceled his show on his birthday! Sorry. Pardon me. Something got stuck in my throat, I think. Okay. Where was I? Do people really want a second season? Yes. By the way, 71% of you still want a second season of this Acolyte show. With over 100 votes on this poll, 71% of you still want a second season. I mean, come on. I get that we are a positive Star Wars channel, so it's going to be a lot more positive Star Wars people in this chat, but still, numbers are numbers, and numbers don't lie. They could just complete the story in books and comics. They could. They definitely could, but that would not be ideal. They're already making prequel novels for this Acolyte series. That actually led me to believe that there would be a second season. Guess not, but there is a possibility that they could finish off the story in books or in comics. I would not be a fan of that. I would not at all. No. No, I would not. B-Man, what's up? I just want a Stranger action figure. You know what? I just want to know his name. Is that too much to ask? I just want to know his name. Because his name's not Chimera. His name's not Darth Zipperface. His name's not Smilo Ren. His name's not the Stranger. He's got a name. I want to know it. I also want to know his Sith name. Yeah. Yeah. Aaron says, I know the show is canceled and the merch has been wiped out, but I would love for the story to be continued in one medium or another. I mean, the merch is back. The merch is back. Could the show come back? Here's the thing. For the last, since Monday, what's it been since Monday? Today's Thursday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I guess. Do you count today as a day? Whatever. 3 or 4 days. For the last 3 or 4 days, hashtag Renew the Acolyte has been trending online. Fans are clearly divided, to say the least. You got Star Wars fans crapping on other Star Wars fans. You got Star Wars fans just praising the fact that it got canceled. And then you have Star Wars fans that are bummed out, like many of us here today. But either way, hashtag Renew the Acolyte has still been trending online for the last 4 days. Is it possible that Star Wars fans could turn this around? The same way that Star Wars fans got this show canceled in the first place, the more so negative side of the Star Wars fandom, the people that gave it a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes before it was even released, the same fandom that canceled this show, could the same fandom bring the show back? I don't know. I don't know. It's a possibility, I would say. It's always a possibility. Darth Cortosis? No, Cortosis is the metal that makes this mask. I do like it, though. I do like it. Okay. Where was I? Chimera could go into a Tales of the Sith series. Again, that's not what I want. I want more Chimera in live action. Manny Jacinto was such a good character. It would be travesty. It would absolutely be devastating if we had to move to animation in a Tales of the Sith story to get more of the Stranger. That'd be devastating. Darth Rizzler? Darth Rizzless? Oh my god. You guys are crazy. Okay. There is an old Plagueis figure, but it's $200. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm glad that people found something to like within the Acolyte show. There you go, Joe. I appreciate that. It's just hit or miss like every other franchise. Yes and no. I think Star Wars is so much... Well, I think it's so much better than every other franchise. But I think it's held on so much more of a pedestal than other franchises are. Like Marvel, for example. Marvel's a great franchise. I'm a huge Marvel guy. I'm not going to be sitting here making Marvel videos because I'm just not that invested anymore. But when it comes to Star Wars, for Star Wars fans, you have normie fans, you have hardcore fans, but for most Star Wars fans, they hold it on such a high pedestal because whenever they got into Star Wars, usually at a young age, it became something in their heart that they go back to. They feel like they're a kid again, all this stuff. They love certain aspects of Star Wars. They dislike other aspects of Star Wars, whatever it may be. But as opposed to like Marvel, where it is like hit or miss, you have stuff like Loki, which is a masterpiece, or you have stuff like She-Hulk, which is like, what are we doing here? Star Wars isn't. It isn't like that. It's not where you can't get away with that, I should say. You can't have a project here or there that's good and a project here or there that's bad. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So I just don't think that's what's going on here. Star Wars is just so much higher than all those other franchises that it's just not even in the same conversation. Yeah. Connor, what's up? Yeah. The $180 million was an investment into their initial character building, which normally is slower until we know the characters. Look at the Anakin story going into the prequels, which was never meant to be. I don't really know what you're saying with that. Well, we'll put it this way. People have been saying this over and over again. It's just one season. You look at the first season of many other shows, even The Mandalorian, Rebels, Clone Wars. those first seasons aren't the best seasons of the show. Not even close. I mean, maybe The Mandalorian, but Clone Wars, Rebels, those first seasons are just establishing these characters. Look at The Bad Batch, too. Now you look at shows that just got canceled, or at least never got a second season, like Kenobi or The Book of Boba Fett, and now it looks like an incomplete story with The Book of Boba Fett, at least. Not really Kenobi, but it looks like an incomplete story, and now it makes the show look even worse. You have an incomplete story. You want to see more Darth Plagueis. You want to know what happened with Vanestra and Chimere, and maybe that makes season 1 better while also giving you an even better second season. You're just being introduced to these characters, only getting to spend 8 episodes with them, when in other shows, you got, 8 to 24 episodes of The Mandalorian. You got over 100 episodes of The Clone Wars. You're spending so much time with these characters. For The Acolyte, you just didn't get that time. So maybe it would get better. We have no idea. Maybe it would get worse. We have no clue. Maybe it peaked in season 1. We don't know. We'll never know. It's gone. Craziness. Craziness. Does anybody like Outbound Flight? I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is. I saw you freak out. What? I've never freaked out on stream before. That's such a lie. What are you talking about? Don't lie to me like that. More Acolyte cosmetic stuff dropped on Star Wars The Old Republic the day they canceled the show. Wait, what? They're dropping Acolyte stuff on the Old Republic game? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I used to only watch... oh, yeah. Rob says, you don't announce tie-in content at D23 just to wipe the show out from existence. That doesn't make sense at all. That's what I'm saying, Rob. It doesn't make sense at all. You announced 2 prequel novels weeks before you cancel the second season? Doesn't make sense. And the fact that Lucasfilm and Disney are so quiet about this makes me think that they're just waiting. They're waiting to see what the audience reaction is to all of this. Because they did announce 2 prequel novels. It was the last weekend of July, I think. Or maybe it was even the first weekend of August. San Diego Comic-Con. They announced 2 prequel novels. Then at D23, they bring in Manny Jacinto to celebrate the show. To celebrate The Acolyte. And now you're going to tell me that they're going to just cancel it like that? It could be Disney just putting out their feelers. Seeing, did people actually like this show or not? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like they will cancel everything not Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Let me finish this and then I'll get to that. I would be worried about the Rey movie getting canceled if I was a Disney Star Wars fan. The Rey movie, I think, is too far along. I mean, maybe not. It is very far along. The script has been done. Daisy's signed on. They got a director. They got a writer. It seems like the Rey movie is still going to happen. But going back to canceling everything that isn't John and Dave, well, Dave Filoni now is the chief executive or chief creative officer. So he oversees every Star Wars project now until he's done, I guess. So technically everything is Dave Filoni now. It's not that he's going to be creating everything, hands-on, directing every episode, writing every episode, but he's going to be overseeing everything as it comes out. That's sort of a different thing. But will they be canceling everything? No. Hopefully, the biggest project for me that will be a key indicator of what's going on at Lucasfilm right now is the what the hell's his name? The Dawn of the Jedi movie, James Mangold. The James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie. If that movie gets canceled or doesn't happen, then this is bad news. This is really, really, really bad news because now we're not going to be going back to the beginning of the Jedi, the dawn of the Jedi, to see the first ever Jedi, first ever Sith, first ever lightsabers. We're not going to see any of that. And that means we got a big problem on our hands because Disney's seeing this as The Acolyte didn't work. We can't leave the Skywalker saga ever again or else we're going to get bombed like the viewer bomb from 2024. It's sad, but it's probably true. So the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie is probably the most important movie for how the future of Star Wars content is going to look. Because like Star Wars Santa brought up last stream when we did the call-ins, after Ahsoka Season 2, there is no live-action Star Wars projects on the horizon. Now that The Acolyte Season 2 has been canceled, there is nothing. So you end this year with Skeleton Crew. You start next year with Andor Season 2. Then you get Ahsoka Season 2, who knows when, maybe the end of 2025, maybe early 2026. And then there's nothing. Now, you could just be saying, Mike, they're going to announce another show at Star Wars Celebration. And maybe, but what's it going to be? A Mando Season 4? Book of Boba Fett Season 2? Skeleton Season 2? Skeleton Crew Season 2? What else could it be? It's very, very interesting. Very interesting that there's literally no live action content on the horizon. Interesting. Oh, James with his 1-month membership badge. I appreciate it. James says, what do you think about the rumors that Dave actually had a part of the cancellation? I don't agree, but if Dave was involved, then he had his reasons. I've heard very little rumors of Dave Filoni being involved with any of this, but I mean, that sounds like a rumor to me for now. I guess I got nothing. Dave Filoni, involved or not, because he is the chief creative officer, I feel like if it is getting canceled, he should have a say in that, but I don't know if he does. I really have no clue. They did have the directors meeting before the Acolyte, but the Acolyte was created before Dave Filoni had that position. So it was one of the final projects that Dave Filoni didn't have sort of a say in creating. So maybe he didn't want a second season. I don't know. I don't know. Frosty says, I don't like the show, but your opinion for liking it is valid too. Frosty, that might be the quote of the day. That's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not here to convince you to like the show. You're not here to convince me to hate the show. And we can just have a fun, civilized conversation as Star Wars fans, and nothing changes. Nothing changes here. I enjoy Star Wars. You enjoy Star Wars. We just enjoy different aspects of Star Wars. That's perfectly fine. We did the same, literally last stream, we did this same experiment where I said, tell me your favorite Star Wars movie in the chat. People said anything from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back to Rogue One to Solo to The Last Jedi. Like, all over the board. We all love Star Wars. We just love it for different reasons. And that's awesome. Quote of the day, I don't like The Acolyte, but your opinion for liking it is valid too. Maybe more people can have that mindset. Maybe more people could have that mindset. Got so many Star Wars creators online. Can't even call them creators. You got so many people online who just think they have a platform, just screaming and yelling about literally crapping on other people for liking Star Wars. What? What are we doing here? Do you really have that much time in your day? Are you really that sad that you have to go crap on other people for liking something? I don't know. Zap says, people, I mean, the haters, don't give it a chance because it's not what they want. And they're mad because the characters don't look like them. I don't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Nope. Sorry. UV Clip says, I gave it a chance and it sucked. In my opinion, of course. People should give every show a chance. Skeleton Crew is probably going to be fantastic and get low ratings because people don't trust it. Yeah, that's the problem. I am not like extremely excited for Skeleton Crew yet. I think I need another trailer that gives me something to be like, okay, I'm fully in on this. But I am excited. And I feel like because of the Acolyte and what happened in the Star Wars fandom with the Acolyte show, just the conversation around the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew is going to hurt from that. It might even get view bombed like the Acolyte did. If Skeleton Crew goes in at a 13% before the premiere, there's a big problem here. Huge. Because every Star Wars project from here on out is going to be met with the same divisiveness from the Star Wars fandom. And it's not going to stop. So Skeleton Crew is going to be a very interesting roller coaster, as a lot is riding on that show. Whether it's good or not doesn't really matter. It's more so how the Star Wars fandom reacts. I'm hoping the Skeleton Crew is a surprise. I'm hoping it's really, really good. And I'm hoping it gives us what we want as Star Wars fans. but I'm more intrigued to see the conversation around the Skeleton Crew, like we saw with the Acolyte show. Yeah. Tell me in the chat, are you excited for the Skeleton Crew? On a scale of 1 to 10, we'll put it that way. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for the Skeleton Crew show? Because I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the Star Wars fandom is not fully on board. I feel like a lot of fans are like, maybe. Skeleton Crew? What even is that? Some people don't even know what it is. Some people think it's a kid's show. It's not a kid's show. They've clearly said that many times before. But because it's focusing on a younger kid, a teenage kids, 4 kids, people think it's a kid's show. It's not. It's 100% not. I see a bunch of 5s, 6s, 7s, 10s, okay. 8.5, 8s, 8.5. Interesting. Yes, Young Jedi Adventure is a kid's show. Jeez, sorry. Excuse me. Young Jedi Adventure is a kid's show. It's an animated show created for young kids. But Skeleton Crew is not that. Yeah. Yeah. You're at a 10 now? A lot of people did watch that first trailer and really enjoyed it quite a bit. I liked the first trailer, I did. But it left me with a lot more questions than answers. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Yeah. Trailer? Wait, you guys, have you not watched the trailer for the Skeleton Crew show? Is that what you're saying? Or, oh, you're just making a joke. I get you. Okay. Where was I? Brian says, reasons why the Acolyte failed is because this wasn't a Star Wars story. They injected their own agenda and promoted wokeness, okay? And this isn't a place or a time for that. We just need a real Star Wars story. Well, Brian, my response to that is, did you watch the show? And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm actually asking because never once in this show was there any sort of agenda of promoting wokeness or whatever you want to call it. Like, there just wasn't any of that. It was great characters telling a great story. I can understand not liking the writing of the show or the acting maybe or whatever. That's fully an opinionated thing. But to come out and say it's promoting wokeness is just wrong. MD says, people muting me. Guess I'll just go. No wonder the Acolyte was canceled. Muting you? What are you talking about? What you talking about? Lee says, haters gonna hate. It's all clickbait, and we are talking about the cancellation, which is getting more concern when Disney hasn't even commented on it, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a little bit weird that Disney hasn't said one way or another what's going on with this Acolyte show. It is very, very strange. And honestly, I don't know if they ever will at this point. It's gone so far that everybody's talking about it. Like, the whole news cycle for this week is The Acolyte's canceled. Every headline, The Acolyte is not getting a second season. The Acolyte has been canceled. Like, there's nobody not talking about this. So if it's really not canceled, Lucasfilm, Disney, if you're watching, please say something about it. We really want a second season. It would be fan-freaking-tastic. Give me more Darth Plagueis. Give me more Chimera. Please. Give me the story of Vanestra and Chimera. Because this is getting concerning. It's controlled the entire news week. And it's Thursday already. The week is almost over. And this whole week has been focused around The Acolyte has been canceled. Star Wars Outlaws comes out in 8 days. That should be what we're talking about. It should be we're getting hyped up for this awesome, cool, open world, first ever open world Star Wars game. But that's not the conversation we're having. We're having The Acolyte's been canceled. What do we do now? It's concerning. Yeah. But I appreciated James with the 1-month membership badge, going all the way back to that. Memberships are the best way to support the channel. Of course, it's just 99 cents at the lowest tier, and you get instant access to giveaways, which, by the way, I believe Tuesday. Yeah, so next Tuesday is the final stream of the month, and that means oh, wait, no, it's Thursday, right? What the hell? So Thursday. Sorry. A week from today is the last stream of the month, and that means giveaways. So everybody who is a member, you get instant access to giveaways. And Thursday is a big one. We are giving away 2 copies of Star Wars Outlaws. And maybe, just maybe, if I'm feeling generous, we'll do 3. But we'll put it at 2 for now. 2 copies of Star Wars Outlaws. We're giving them away on Thursday. You have to be a member to get instant access to that giveaway. We got about 70-ish members right now, so you get a 1 in 70 chance, or I guess a 2 in 70 chance, to win a copy of Star Wars Outlaws. So become a member today. That's my pitch. I don't know. I feel like I have to say that every stream so that people just, like, you know the deal. I hate, like, selling to you guys. It's just not what I want to do. I'm here to talk Star Wars, but we do have an awesome, cool giveaway coming next week, so you want to get in on that. Oh, and Super Chats. Super Chats, I will do any Star Wars impression. Again, it won't be good, but it will be an impression nonetheless. I believe last stream I did Darth Maul screaming Kenobi. Thought it was pretty good, actually. One of my best performances. Danny Bug says, the episodes were seriously short, so the minutes are going to be shorter. The minutes are going to be shorter? I don't know what that means. But the episodes were seriously short. A lot of people complain about that time and time again, and it's not going to change. I mean, from The Mandalorian to the Book of Boba Fett to the Kenobi show to Ahsoka to Acolyte, they're all consistent, very consistent, around that 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm not really sitting here expecting more anymore. I'd love to see an hour-long episode, but as long as you're telling the show correctly, or telling the story correctly, and not just giving us extra minutes just to fill in time, I don't really care. It could be 10 minutes and it's fantastic, like Tales of the Jedi, or it could be 2 hours and suck, like, you know? Do you think Outbound Flight would make a good Star Wars show? I don't know what Outbound Flight... All right, do I have to look it up? Let's see. Oh, it's a Star Wars novel. I thought you were talking about a video game. What the hell? Here I am, not even... Okay, never mind. Do I think it would make a great Star Wars show? Sure, fantastic. Why not? The more, the merrier when it comes to Timothy Zahn, you know? I don't know why. The first time you said it, I thought you mentioned a video game. Moby says, are we doing this again? No one watched The Acolyte, and it was expensive. Of course they didn't renew it. Well, I wouldn't say nobody. 5 million people watched the premiere, and millions more for the rest of the episode. Sorry. Frosty says, the extreme hate by a million YouTubers got really annoying. They all said the same thing, too. Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to watch Star Wars YouTubers anymore. I'm actually watching a podcast. I was going to say YouTube anymore, but I'm watching a podcast on YouTube, and all I do is watch this podcast. But I don't really watch Star Wars YouTubers much because it's just so negative online, just all the time. So I tend to stay away from it. Yeah. Oh, Lee. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars, Lee, at the Padawan level. I appreciate it quite a bit. Again, becoming a member is the best way to support the channel. I appreciate it. Matthew says, you know what I hate about the Willow being canceled is the fact that it's preventing the 4K release of the movie because Disney sees Willow as a failure. Really? I did not know that. My Willow knowledge is not up to par. Andor is the best. So, Moby, you just said nobody watched The Acolyte and it was expensive. So, of course, they didn't renew it. And then you followed up by saying Andor is the best. I don't disagree with you that Andor is the best. I don't think it's the best, but I think it is really, really good. But Andor is the exact same scenario. Nobody watched Andor. I mean, not literally nobody, but nobody watched Andor, and it cost a whole lot more than The Acolyte to make, almost $100 million more. You know? It's the same sentence. Andor is gold. I absolutely agree. Andor is fan-freaking-tastic. I'm actually rewatching it right now. I'm on episode 5, maybe? I'm on the Aldani arc. Like, I'm in the middle of it. Yeah, I think it's episode 5. I think Aldani's the most underrated arc in that season. I think it's honestly probably better than the first arc, maybe even the prison arc. I know everybody loves Kino Loy, but I just like the Aldani stuff even better. Yeah, Andor's extremely underrated. That's what I'm saying, though. Nobody watched Andor. If anybody says, I want to watch Star Wars, what should I watch? I'm saying, have you watched The Mandalorian? Usually they say yes because The Mandalorian is very, very popular. But then I'll say, watch Andor. It's not really like any other Star Wars project. There's no lightsabers. There's no Jedi. It's just a great story. And it's great storytelling. But not a lot of people watched it. That's the problem. More people should be watching it. Yeah. Star Wars Santa says, Josh from the Den of Nerds and Star Wars Theory helped me launch my channel. I don't often agree with them on things, but we can still be decent to each other. No need to insult one another. Oh, absolutely. Actually, Josh and Star Wars Theory are exactly the same reason I started my channel too. They have obviously a way bigger platform than I do, but I saw all the hate and negativity in their chats, not from them specifically, but from their chats. Just the people in the Star Wars fandom talking just such negativity all the time that I wanted to bring a more positive light to the Star Wars fandom, because I know there's so many of you, like everybody in the chat right now, that is more of a positive lover of the Star Wars galaxy, you know? But yeah, shout out to Josh and Theory. They're definitely the reason that we're all here today. Amanda, what's up? Oh yeah, Amanda became a member off stream, so let's celebrate Amanda's membership. Amanda, welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars, Amanda. I appreciate it. But Amanda says, the watch time is also important, though. It was the least watched. It had promise, but it never delivered. Needs new writers and needs to get revamped. Well, some fans have been saying that, too. If they get rid of Leslie Headland and bring it back, would it be more well-received, so to speak? I honestly don't even know. I feel like it's the name The Acolyte that is what has these fans so divided. I don't even know if Leslie Headland is the issue anymore. Definitely started out as the issue, but I don't know if it is anymore. I loved The Acolyte and Ahsoka. The amount of speculation was really fun. Yeah, I mean, the best part about Disney Plus shows is that they're week to week. I know a lot of you would argue with me and say, I'd love to see all these episodes released at the same time so I can just binge watch it in one sitting. I don't like that. I like going week to week because not only can I sit here and talk to you guys and speculate about it, but it's sort of just the waiting. I hate waiting, but at the same time, I love waiting because I get to speculate what's going to happen next. And not only do I have a platform here to make videos about it, but I just love to talk about it. I love to talk about what's going to happen next, speculate about it, predict what's going on. That's what is really fun about all these Star Wars Disney Plus series. You know? Matthew says, they have to move on from the original trilogy characters. They didn't have to disrespect the Disney trilogy, though. But that ship has sailed ages ago. I don't know what that means. But moving on from the original trilogy characters, I don't know if that's a good idea anymore. Tell me in the chat, would you want to see more Luke, Leia, and Han? Obviously in a post-original trilogy time period, in this sort of Mando time period, would you want to see more Luke, Leia, and Han? Or are you like, no, get away from the original trilogy, don't touch it again? What are we thinking? More Luke, Leia, and Han or not? Damn it. I'm all out. Gotta reload. Can I get some good Cubs follow orders in the chat too while you're at it? Bum-ba! Interesting. Heck yeah. Not really. No in all caps. Definitely not. No more OT. Yes, more OT. Yes, Luke, Leia, and Han. Okay. We might have to pull this up. We are pretty divided on this one. Hang on. Let's do this. Let's do this. If I pull this up, though, I'm going to lose all these chats. Hang on. Let's see if I can do it without it. All right, let's pull this up. By the way, that poll said 66%. Nice, Order 66. 66% of you still want an Acolyte Season 2, even with the news of it being canceled. All right, let's do this. Do you want more stories with Luke, Leia, and Han? Yes or no? Let's see it, chat. And let me scroll up before these chats go away. Oh, shit. I might have lost some of them. Oh, I lost a lot of them. Okay. Shit. Okay. Well, I'm going to go from where I found it, okay? I'm scared that the Skeleton Crew kids are going to be harassed. Yeah, that's going to be a big problem. That could be a big problem. We've had this in the past with Star Wars. You look back at the prequel trilogy and Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd got bullied so bad when the Phantom Menace came out that he pretty much stopped acting. He stopped acting completely, and he kind of had it was a rough life for him. And that's, again, the same situation we're having right now. It's the same story over and over again. People act like this split in the fandom is something new. It's not. It's all the way back in 1999, over 25 years ago. But yeah, absolutely. Jake Lloyd was bullied like crazy, and it's horrible. And I really hope that the same doesn't happen to these Skeleton Crew kids too. It's a very big risk, and I'm hoping that they're prepared to avoid the hate. Avoiding the hate is very hard to do, but once you do it, then you're not even listening to it. You don't even care anymore. You're just only seeing the positive, which is hard to do. It's very hard to filter out the bad stuff. It really, really is. But it's a necessity. It has to be done, or else you're going to get bullied. You're going to stop acting and all that other stuff. It's insanity. But yeah, I really hope not. I really hope not. I mean, not only was Jake Lloyd bullied like crazy, Ahmed Best, of course, for Jar Jar Binks, but in more recent past, you have Kelly Marie Tran, is it Kelly Marie? Who plays Rose from the sequel trilogy. Who else was it from the sequel trilogy? Shit. But a lot of actors and actresses from Star Wars get bullied online because of their character that they're portraying. It's not even their writing that they're performing. It's the writers that they're doing. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, and it doesn't belong anywhere near Star Wars. This kind of bullying and hatred for actors. It's insane. Lee, with a very generous $5 of some sort of currency, just kidding, says, many thanks to your compliments, Mike. Love you, dude. Can you please do your best impression of Cad Bane morphing into Darth Maul's Kenobi? Well, first of all, I appreciate that quite a bit. It's very, very generous. And I can try Cad Bane morphing into Maul's Kenobi. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it without any reference, shall we? Let's see. Hey, Toto. 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 In my mind's... no, hang on. It's hard to say anything but Toto as Cad Bane. Hey, Toto. Hey, Toto. In my... hang on. Toto. Toto. How do I morph it into Maul? This is why I'm not a voice actor, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, hang on. Let me workshop this, shall we? Let's do it live. Okay. Hey, Toto. Toto. Hang on. Let me get my Maul warmed up for a second, shall we? In my mind's eye, Kenobi. Kenobi. Okay. All right. So how do I go from Toto to Kenobi? Let's see. Hey, Toto. Hey, Toto. Hey, Toto. Kenobi. I don't know. I tried morphing. Okay. I said give me impressions, not morphing impressions. Damn it, Lee. Damn it. Just kidding. I appreciate it, Lee. I really, really do. I'm sorry that you wasted your money. I tried my best. Hey, Toto. I just walk around. Like, if you ever see me in public, first of all, come up and say hi. It would make my whole entire life. But I'm probably sitting there to myself going, hey, Toto, Toto. Especially if I have a toothpick in my mouth. If I ever leave a restaurant and there's toothpicks at the all right, everybody, let's be honest time, okay? If you ever leave a restaurant and there's toothpicks at the front door, be honest. Are you not putting that in your mouth and pretending to be Cad Bane? If you ever leave a CVS pharmacy or another place that has an automatic door, I don't know why CVS was the first thing that I thought of. But if you ever leave a store with an automatic door, are you not using the force to open that door? Or even if you don't go like this, you're at least doing it in your mind. Be honest. Be honest. What are other times in our regular lives are we just doing Star Wars things? Anytime you say hello to anybody, aren't you just going, hello there? Come on. Come on. How many times a day do you think you make a Star Wars reference to somebody who's not a Star Wars fan where they're like, what'd you say? And you're like, oh, nothing. Because it happens to me like 20 times a day, at least. See? Exactly. I knew you guys would understand. Nobody else understands. Nobody else understands. Yeah. I appreciate it, Lee. That's very, very generous. Very, very generous. Dr. Nico says Ahsoka got a second season because it performed better than it did for Dave's Mandoverse. Oh yeah, Ahsoka definitely deserved a second season. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely. Ahsoka is a masterpiece. I personally think that Ahsoka is personally I believe that Ahsoka is the best single season of Star Wars television we've ever received. You might disagree with me on that, but it's still my opinion. I might do a rewatch of Ahsoka tonight. A marathon. That'd be pretty epic. Because it did come out a year ago today. Let's just talk about Ahsoka for a second. Let's just celebrate Ahsoka for just 1 second, shall we? Just 1 second. We can go back to Acolyte. We'll go back to Acolyte in a second. But Ahsoka. Not only did it bring in the Rebels crew to live action, and Rebels is one of my favorite shows, but it also gave us the World Between Worlds sequence, Episode 5, The Shadow Warrior, with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, versus Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds. And then we got back to Clone Wars, and we got Clone Wars Anakin in live action. The Siege of Mandalore. What was the actress name who played young Ahsoka? Damn it, what the hell's her name? Something green something. Green something green. Whatever. You know who I'm talking about. That 5th episode was peak. Then she comes out of that whole World Between Worlds sequence and tames a Purgle. Sends the Purgles send them to the unknown regions, to the new galaxy, to Peridia. Ariana Greenblatt. Yes, I knew it was green something. At least my brain's not that broken. Ariana Greenblatt. Thank you. Yes, she did an incredible job as young Ahsoka. Rosario did an incredible job. Everybody did an incredible job. That show is fan-freaking-tastic. Iman Esfandi as Ezra Bridger might be the most perfect casting in the history of casting people ever. Yeah. Okay. Mystic Troll says, personally, as a negative, jaded, senile person myself, I appreciate the positive vibes. Okay. I appreciate you being here. Yeah. It's the good and kind people that keep the fandom alive. Yeah. That's for damn sure. This fandom would be dead. Literally dead. If there was no positive people left. I mean, they wouldn't be making Star Wars content anymore. It would all be hate. Isn't Skeleton Crew a children's show? No. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Skeleton Crew is not a kid's show. It is not made for kids. I mean, everything Star Wars is technically made for 13-year-olds, as George Lucas once said, but it's not made for like little children, like 4 or 5-year-olds. It's not. This is not a kid's show. Chris Ford, who wrote it, Chris Ford and Sean Levy. No, not Sean Levy. That's the Deadpool guy. John Watts and Christopher Ford, who wrote it, did say themselves that it is not a kid's show. Yeah. Indeed. Honestly, I'm more excited for the LEGO special currently. The LEGO special thing is going to be pretty cool. It's a what-if series called Rebuild the Galaxy. It comes out on September 13th. It's a 4-part thing. It's going to be pretty cool. It's just like what-ifs in Star Wars, but Legos. It's Darth Jar Jar. It's Vader in an all-white outfit. It's all black Millennium Falcon. It's Ewok bounty hunters. It's surfer dude Luke Skywalker. It's just a bunch of what-ifs in Star Wars. It's going to be pretty cool. I mean, I'm not like on the moon. It's not going to be the greatest Star Wars thing of all time, but it's going to be fun. I think so. Hopefully. Yeah. The Saber Smith says, dude, you are getting roasted online for your thoughts on your show on Tuesday. I hate so much. You are the only positive community out there right now. Am I getting hate online? What are you talking about? Getting hated on online? What did I do? Is this true? I don't know. Resistance wasn't my cup of tea, to be honest. I actually still haven't seen Resistance. I know. Some of you are like, Mike, you got to watch Resistance. The first season's not that bad. The second season's better, or whatever you guys say. I know. I understand. But I'll get around to it. I keep saying that like I'm going to get around to it. I'm not going to get around to it, okay? Maybe someday I will. Maybe someday. But right now I'm rewatching Andor. And then I gotta go rewatch Ahsoka. Then maybe Resistance is third. Yeah. Give me a 1 into the chat if you've seen Star Wars Resistance. Give me a 2 if you're like, nah, I never watched it. It's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap. What the hell's a trap? What are you talking about? It's a trap. What you talking about? 1 is I've seen Resistance. 2 is haven't seen it. What do we think? MD says, The Walking Dead World Beyond did something similar. It was deemed bad by the fans. I thought it was charming. I haven't watched The Walking Dead since like season 3 of the main show. I do know that there's a lot of spin-offs now. I'm not following it, so I could not put my input on that. But great. Glad you liked it. Dead Mike says, Ahsoka's ending was pointless. They had a dope character in Baylan Skoll, and at the end, they did nothing with him. Oh, what? What are you talking about? They couldn't have set up Baylan for a better future. Now, granted, obviously, Ray Stevenson sadly passed away, so his future is going to be limited unless they recast the character. But Baylan Skoll was one of the greatest characters in that show, and they set him up for greatness. They set him up to go freaking meet Abeloth. What are you talking about? Abeloth. We're talking about one of the coolest characters ever in Legends Star Wars. And one of the new best characters in canon Star Wars, Baylan Skoll, is going to go free Abeloth from prison. At least so we think. Couldn't have been a better ending for him. Kyle says, I'm excited for Skeleton Crew because it's like E.T. plus the Goonies. Yeah, it is kind of just like that 80s type E.T. meets Goonies meets Stranger Things type of show, and it's in Star Wars. Hopefully, where can you go wrong? Lee says, I'm excited for the 80s nostalgia. It's already provoked me as I was growing up in the 80s, watching Goonies, E.T., etc., so bring it on. There you go. There you go. Remember when everyone saw the Acolyte teaser years ago and were 10s then too? What? Years ago? The Acolyte teaser came out in like April of this year. Or March of this year, something like that. But I remember that teaser coming out and people were losing their minds because if you recall, the first teaser for the Acolyte had Chimere, but it was just when he throws his lightsaber and it goes swinging through the forest and then he catches it in his hand. That was it. So people were like, "Who the hell is this guy?" It kind of broke the internet for a while. Yeah. By the way, only 56% of you guys want more Luke, Leia, and Han. That's a lot lower than I thought it was going to be, honestly. Indeed. Robert says, it's just funny to see him get triggered when I give any valid reason for not liking the show. Robert, I'm not here to try to make you dislike the show. Like the show. And I hope you're not here to make me dislike the show. But I honestly didn't see you write anything else today. But I appreciate it. Neil has the midichlorian count of 20,001. If Neil isn't like the coolest character to ever exist, I'm a riot. I'm gonna riot. If you guys don't know who Neil is, he's one of the kid characters in Skeleton Crew. Let's look it up. If you don't know who Neil is, you've been living under a rock for the last 2 weeks. Here's our boy Neil. Look at him in all of his glory. Neil! How do I zoom in on Neil? There he is. Look at that face. Give us all the Neil feels, yeah. Neil, like, going into Skeleton Crew, hopefully the conversation is Neil is going to be the GOAT rather than this show's going to suck. That's my dream. That's my dream. Neil's the GOAT already. We haven't even seen him yet, and he's the GOAT. I'm supporting Disney until we get a second season. Okay. Yeah. Neil is the GOAT. MD says, even if it was promoting wokeness, so what? Diversity and inclusion is good. It wasn't, though. Like, I get what people are saying when they talk about that, because they're like, don't just throw it in my face, just tell a good story. You can have both at the same time and still have a good story. But I just didn't see any of that in this Acolyte show. Brian says, I did watch the show, and maybe you're right. It doesn't really promote wokeness, but the writing and acting was off and awkward. There you go, Brian. That's perfectly fine. I mean, just because you didn't like the show, it's not the end of the world. Just because I like the show, it's not the end of the world. Clearly, they made the show for a reason. But there you go. Matthew says, I watched it. I didn't like it beyond some of the costume designs and the sets. I think the High Republic is an interesting era, too. Yeah, the High Republic is a very cool era. I mean, obviously, a lot of story has been told in book form for that era. Give me a 1 into the chat if you've read the High Republic books, or any of the High Republic books, really. Give me a 2 if you're like, no, haven't done that. But the High Republic books really tell a pretty good story. A brand new cast of characters, a brand new cast of Jedi, I should say, even new villains like the Nile, and the path of the hand, is it called? Something like that. So I wish those books performed better, because they don't sell very well. But yeah. Oh, a lot of you have read them. A lot haven't, but it's more ones than I thought I'd see. Interesting. An OT reboot? No. There will never be an original trilogy reboot, because fans would riot. That would be... no. No. They just removed the Acolyte merch. Take a hint. Well, they added it back. That's the whole gist of it. It was a big concern yesterday when people were going around saying that they removed the Acolyte merch online, because they did, but they put it back. It's back. I don't know what that means, but it's not bad news. That's for damn sure. James says, why are you in a place that loves Star Wars? Wait, what? Why are you in a place that loves Star Wars, hate, and then wonder why you're being muted? LOL. I haven't muted anybody this stream. And Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, but you haven't muted anybody this stream either, right? I don't know what these people are talking about. Jedi Hangout says, Deadline was the first to state that the Acolyte was canceled, but who is their source? They said that the source says. Who is their source? Yeah, we don't know. It's as simple as that. We don't know. We have no idea who their source is, and we don't even know if they're valid or not. It would be kind of crazy if it came out that this is not true and the Acolyte is still getting a second season, and Lucasfilm confirmed it themselves, because Deadline is a massive news media outlet, and they would be ripped to shreds if that was the case. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it would be insanity. Yeah, it'd be absolutely crazy. Kid Fisto says, Mike, I just realized how much I missed your streams. Kid Fisto, I appreciate that quite a bit. That just made my day. Streaming is so much fun. You got to understand, streaming on this channel is what I get the least amount of views on. Reels, full form video, whatever you want to call it. Live streams are the least amount of viewed things on this channel, but they're the most fun for me. It's the chance to interact with you guys personally and just have a conversation about Star Wars. Who doesn't want to do that? Who's a Star Wars fan that doesn't want to just have a conversation about Star Wars? We stream 3 times a week. Like, I could talk Star Wars till the end of time. Like, this is just where the fun begins, you know?
This is where the fun begins.
It's epic. Epic. Actually, next Saturday is the 31st. Oh, shit. No. We're going to do the giveaway on Thursday because Star Wars Outlaws comes out on Friday. So I want you guys to get the copy of the Star Wars Outlaws, or I can get it to you before it gets released on Friday so you can play it as soon as it premieres. Yeah. Yeah. Brian says, we need an open-world Star Wars movie or show. When it tries so hard to condense the show into a certain location. Like, I want to see some Jedi travel to worlds unknown and unknown with a good story. I don't really know what you mean. An open-world Star Wars movie or show? You're just saying, like, you want to see some Jedi travel to worlds known and unknown. But I don't get the question, I guess, or I don't get the what you're saying. An open-world Star Wars game, I understand, because you can go travel to open worlds, but an open world show or a movie, aren't they all that? Don't all Star Wars shows and movies go to different planets, new and old? I don't understand. I don't understand. When are you doing the giveaway, Mike? I want to play it 3 days early, but I want to also get it for a giveaway. Oh, yeah, there's the 3-day early access. Shit. Maybe we'll do the giveaway on Tuesday's stream. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do the stream. We'll do the giveaway on Tuesday's stream. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do that. Mike, if somebody wins, can you win it on PC? Yeah, you can win it on whatever you want. Xbox, PlayStation, PC, whatever your heart desires. I can get it to you. I can get it to you. Even if you want to play it on the old Nintendo 64, I probably can't do that for you, but I can get it to you on any current console or PC. Yeah. You can have a bad first season, retool or rework the story, but Disney just gave up. Yes, but I don't even think the first season was bad. That's the thing. MD says, I hate Netflix for normalizing the 8-episode season when we had like 23 episode seasons. Yes and no. I mean, obviously you want more story. You want to live in these universes longer. But as long as the story's good, that's all that really matters. I mean, what was House of the Dragons last season? 8 episodes? But weren't the original Game of Thrones seasons like 13? It has been increasingly going down. I mean, sitcoms back in the day were like 22, 23, 24 episodes a season, but those are sitcoms. Those are only 30-minute episodes. It's a little bit different. Then you had like the usual 13-episode season. That was the old Netflix shows like Daredevil and Iron Fist and those stuff. But then, yeah, now it's gone down to 9 and then 8. It's just going to keep getting lower. Book of Boba Fett was 7. Obi-Wan Kenobi was 6. Leslie gave us Basil. She's pretty cool. Basil is the GOAT. That's for damn sure. Basil's the GOAT. Mike, can you touch Outlaws with a 10-foot pole now? Wait, what? I don't get it. Could I not touch Outlaws with a 10-foot pole before? Darth Thor says, the next show I'm excited for is The Penguin in September. Oh, yeah, in the Batman universe? That does look pretty good, I must say. Avalon says, personally, I found the idea of being promoted as a murder mystery to have been completely a failure, in the sense that the mystery was solved in the first half hour. That's true. It kind of was marketed as a murder mystery, and was it a murder mystery? the description was there was mysterious murders going on in a former Padawan meets with their former master. Yeah, I guess it was kind of a murder mystery. But yeah, it wasn't really a murder mystery. The mysteries were different things, like who the hell's under that mask, who's her master. They weren't really who's murdering people, because you find out in the first scene who is murdering the people. I guess it's a mystery for the Jedi, but not for the audience. Yeah. Josh says, I hate the show, but I'm still chilling with you. Am I toxic? No, I don't think you're toxic at all. But that's the thing. We can sit here and have differing opinions on this show, on any movie for Star Wars, and we can still have fun loving Star Wars, having fun with Star Wars. Like, it doesn't have to be that we love everything the same exact amount, you know? Yeah, I know. LOL, I love the membership song. The membership song is fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah. Nah, Basil was useless. I like the droid better. Well, Basil was useless, but he was still the GOAT. Still the GOAT. Indeed. Hang on. I saw a super check come flying through. Oh, yes, I was not mistaken. Do a General Grievous blowing up impression? Blowing up? What do you mean? Oh, like when he dies? I appreciate it, Alex. Very generous, $2. All right, let's look that up so I can give an accurate impression of this. General Grievous blowing up? I could do that. I think I can manage. And while I look this up, Hal Runner Base. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars, Hal Runner Base. Wow, it's very nice to see a very familiar name in the chat become a member. I appreciate it quite a bit. Wait, what the hell? Weird. That is weird. Okay, let's watch Grievous die, and then let's try and have me recreate it. Alright, let's see. Grievous's death. How is one human being supposed to make those noises with their vocal cords? Alex? Oh, you guys sometimes really make me do some crazy shit. Okay, let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. Okay. I can try. I can definitely try. Do it or not, there is no try, but I can try. How does he make that noise? Alright, I'm gonna try. Ready? I'm gonna mute it and do a voiceover. You ready? One more time listening to it though. Okay, cool. Alright, let's do it. You ready? Mute it, and then I'm gonna do it. Pew 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 pew. So uncivilized. That's the best I got. I don't know what you want from me. That's clearly not a human's voice. I appreciate it, Alex. That's very, very generous. Do Grievous blowing up. Come on. That was my attempt, okay? That was my attempt. Nailed it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It did sound like a monkey a lot. I went full monkey there. Maybe Grievous was part monkey, you know? Stop laughing at me! That was a very serious impression! Okay. Where was I? I need to get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, but the prices are too high. Yeah, that is what kind of sucks too. That's for sure. The prices of those consoles are crazy. I'd love to get to the point when we get enough members and, of course, subscribers to the channel that I would be able to do bigger giveaways like a console or something, but right now we're just not nearly that big. So sadly we can't. The best I can do is give away the game. I don't know about the console. The console's extremely expensive. Yeah. Speaking of N64, who was old enough to appreciate Shadow of the Empire on the N64? I was in middle school and pretty much launched me into the love of Star Wars that I have today. That's awesome, James. I have played the Shadows of the Empire. I did not play it on the N64, though. I've played like some either remastered version or like, I don't know, hacked version, like whatever you want to call it. I have played Shadows of the Empire, but it was not on the original N64. I was not alive for that. No. Yeah. Thank the maker that we got 12 episodes of Andor. That length worked perfectly. That's true, but that's because Andor works in arcs. It works in 3-episode arcs. So season 2 is actually going to work perfectly because it's 3 episodes and each episode's a year. So that'll work quite good. Yeah. Would do their best show during September or February to get renewed? What are you talking about? What you talking about? Oh my God, Lee won the lottery or some shit. Lee with a very generous $5 holla. God damn. Says, can you please do an impression? Or can you please do a BST impression in A New Hope? Luke to Uncle Owen. What is BST? Luke to Uncle Owen. But I was going to Toshi's station to pick up some power converters. LOL. My favorite quote of mine. What is BST? What is BST? Before I go any further, somebody please tell me what BST stands for. Can you please do a BST impression? Bad, stupid, terrible impression? Is that what it stands for? Bad, stupid. Oh, best? Oh, you meant best. Okay. Sorry. I'll do my best. I thought it meant bad, stupid, terrible. Okay. You know me and my nice acronyms. Okay. But I was going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. I liked more so the whiny, Uncle Owen, this droid has a bad motivator. Okay, I'll try yours, though. Okay. I'm going to do the same whiny voice. You ready? But I was going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Hang on, I want to see how he says it, because I can't think of it in my head. Luke Skywalker saying, I was going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. How about this quality?
Take these two over to the garage, will you? I want them cleaned up for dinner.
But I was going into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
Oh, I was pretty damn close. All right, let's do it again.
Cleaned up for dinner.
But I was going into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
But I was going into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. I mean, come on. I think I am Luke Skywalker. That's pretty good. It's a great line.
I want them cleaned up for dinner.
But I was going into Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
That's awesome. Okay. I appreciate it, Lee. Very, very generous. You guys feeling generous tonight. I appreciate it. Yeah. I love a good murder mystery, but the Acolyte did not do it right. It really wasn't a murder mystery. It was a great story, but it definitely wasn't a murder mystery. I mean, maybe to the Jedi it was, but not really. Mike is the new Luke. Sign me up. Disney, if you're watching. Cringe acting. Actually, no. I mean, it's the same as Hayden Christensen's acting in Attack of the Clones. Skywalkers are born whiny babies. You know? Ben Solo is technically a Skywalker. whiny baby. Luke Skywalker, whiny baby. Anakin Skywalker, whiny baby. I guess the only exception is like Leia. She's got more of a Padme vibe to her. They're all whiny babies. They start out as whiny babies, and then they go on to save the galaxy. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. You start. It's called an arc. Actually, Ahsoka does the same thing. And Ahsoka's like she's pretty much a Skywalker. Let's be honest. But yeah, she does the same thing. She starts off as a whiny baby, and then she turns into a hero, just like the rest of them. Wow, revolutionary. Okay. At the end of the day, we should still treat each other like decent human beings, even if we have different thoughts and opinions. Absolutely. I feel like the screen in front of us, well, whether it be a phone screen or a TV screen or whatever, a camera screen, whatever it may be, the screen in front of us seems to give us some sort of false sense of security so that we can say whatever we want. And I mean, technically you can, but there should, and hopefully are, repercussions to that. And you should maybe think twice about what you're saying before you say it. Because now you're saying something publicly online about crapping on somebody else. And I'm sure you wouldn't do that in the real world. I'm sure you wouldn't go up to somebody else and go, "You like the Acolyte? Well, you're fucking stupid. Are you kidding me? You like that shit?" You're not going to do that. Kick a man while he's down. Kick him on the, punch him in the face, give him that Basil 1-2 and just be like, "You suck." No, that wouldn't happen. So I think the screen in front of you is giving you this false sense of, and I say you by just talking about in general, people, gives people a false sense of security, of safety, in being able to say whatever they want and crap on people, bully people online for no reason at all. It's insane. Yeah. Yeah. Auto Meme says, "I think The Acolyte could be one of the best shows." How about this? How about this? We've gotten a lot of negative comments today. I like this one already. Could be one of the best shows. The new characters would be cool, the stories and the old characters, but the writing was terrible and the story too. What a shame. See? The nice Uno reverse card. I read the comment before, but yeah. Yeah. Josh, who before says he hates The Acolyte, but I'm still here, am I toxic, says, "I agree. I love The Rise of Skywalker, and I know most of you hated it. I hate Andor, Acolyte, sorry, and I know that most of you love it. Pretty well balanced, I'd say. Yeah, The Rise of Skywalker gets a lot of hate. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure." Damien says, "I need a show in the underworld that searches for Solo at Jabba's castle, Leia and Luke in the story." You kind of get that in the comics, in the War of the Bounty Hunter stuff. It's that same time period where Luke and Leia are looking for Jabba, but I'd love a show about that for sure. Absolutely. Anything underworld in Star Wars is so intriguing to me. That's why I really am looking forward to this Star Wars Outlaws game, because it's going to be underworld. It's going to be pretty much the peak of the Empire in between that episode 5 and 6, and it's going to be that sort of underworldy feel of bounty hunters, smugglers, crime syndicates. You're going to have Kiara, Lando in the game, and you're going to run into these people. Crimson Dawn, Pikes, Jabba the Hutt, Han, Frozen, and Carbonite. So you're pretty much getting that, just without Luke and Leia. Maybe Luke and Leia will make an appearance, but I doubt it. If Lando's in it, maybe, though. That could be a possibility. So, yeah, I agree. Anything underworld in Star Wars, sign me up. Sign me up. I know The Rise of Skywalker is divisive, but the book Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire actually improves and gives a lot of interesting world building regarding Exegol, such as the evacuation. Or wait, what? Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, of all the Sith stuff. Oh. What? Okay. I've not read Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire, but it does make me interested to go read it. But actually, Shadow of the Sith is also about Palpatine and Luke and Lando and a young Rey and Rey's parents right before the events of the sequel trilogy. And that book's really good. It makes the sequel trilogy a lot better, actually, too. Yeah. My life is complete now. That's hilarious. Baymax says 3 times, Andor broke the fandom worse than The Last Jedi did. Hopefully Andor Season 2 can give some time to heal around something good. I will say that Acolyte definitely did not break the Star Wars fandom more than The Last Jedi did. Nothing I think will ever come close to that. But it definitely is the closest we've been to that since The Last Jedi. And Andor Season 2, I think, hopefully will give us something good to heal around. But Andor Season 1 was not well received by the Star Wars fandom. That's for damn sure. Fans complaining all over the place about calling it Andor. Nothing's going on in this show. Not enough lightsabers, not enough Force. Complaining about bricks and screws and Star Wars. Like, there was so many people just complaining about everything when it came to the first season of Andor. So I can't imagine the second season's going to be much better than that when it comes to the Star Wars fandom's reaction. Yeah. I really enjoyed The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker novelizations. I have not read those novelizations, but I have heard that they do a lot more storytelling than the movies did themselves. Yeah. Yeah. Mike, when is the timeline? Timeline for what? What are you talking about? Oh, for the Outlaw, for Star Wars Outlaws. Oh, it's right in between Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. It's in between that time period. So while Han is frozen in carbonite, and he's with Jabba the Hutt, it takes place right there. Right smack dab in the middle of the original trilogy. So hopefully we can get some familiar faces. We know for a fact that Lando will be involved. Maybe Luke, maybe Leia, maybe Boba Fett. Who knows? Maybe Bosk, maybe some other familiar bounty hunters, actually. I never really thought about that. Yeah. All new projects is crazy time for Star Wars. All new projects is a crazy time for Star Wars. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. I'm going to say it again. Right now is the greatest time to be a Star Wars fan. You have to look forward to Star Wars Outlaws. I thought I said Jedi that time. I didn't. Which is in 8 days. You got, if you're looking forward to it, the Lego Rebuild the Galaxy show, Skeleton Crew, Andor Season 2, Ahsoka Season 2, Mando and Grogu movie. Like, you have a lot of stuff to look forward to. But also, you got something called Disney Plus, where you can go back and watch every Star Wars project that's ever existed before at the tips of your fingers. You can go watch it whenever you want. I know a lot of people in the Discord are watching Star Wars all the time, posting about watching Star Wars all the time, and it's awesome. If you're not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Go join it immediately. It's completely free, and it's just a bunch of fun people, like 200 people in there talking Star Wars all day long. It's so much fun. But it's the best time to be a Star Wars fan. It really is. You can go back and watch all the greats. You can go back and watch whatever you want. You can look forward to all the stuff to come. It's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. My cousin loves the Acolyte. Nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never heard Padme whine. Well, but she was married into the Skywalkers. She wasn't really a Skywalker herself, you know? Wasn't born one. Yeah, no? The fandom has been broken for years. It feels like. Yeah, I mean, it's the Star Wars fandom, talking about being divided, has been divided since day one. I mean, maybe not day one, but maybe day two. Since A New Hope came out, which was mostly beloved. I'm sure some people didn't like it when it first released in 1977, but it was mostly beloved. When Empire came out, there were some fans that said, this isn't as good as the first one, and it's not good. That's kind of bound to happen. I would argue that those people were probably in the minority, as Empire's incredible. But then Return of the Jedi comes out, and some fans didn't like the Ewoks. Then, 16 years later, the prequel trilogy comes out, and not everybody, I'm using broad statements here, everybody hated it. It was so divisive because it was so different from what the original trilogy was. And we've just been going down that same path time and time and time again with every Star Wars project to ever release. And it's going to continue, but it's how you go about it that's going to hopefully make for good Star Wars projects to come. Because stuff is still really good. It is. Plain and simple. You like the Acolyte, you don't like the Acolyte, that's perfectly fine. This year you also got The Bad Batch Season 3, which is a freaking masterpiece. And you got Tales of the Empire, which was good. Last year, you got Ahsoka, which is a masterpiece. You got Bad Batch Season 2, Mando Season 3. Year before that, you got Andor. Like, pick your poison. Whatever you like, go watch it. It's already there. Yeah, no? Pick your poison probably wasn't the best thing to say there. Pick your cake? I don't know. Alex says, yo, Mike, I've been cooking up some Star Wars shirts on Photoshop. Would you like me to send them to you if I finish them up and print them out? Absolutely, Alex. That would be awesome. Send me an image of them on Discord or something. That'd be awesome. Seamus says, the underworld stuff in Star Wars is so much fun. Remember that raid in Star Wars The Old Republic, Scum and Villainy? That was so fun. Yeah, all the underworld stuff that's ever existed in Star Wars has always just been so cool and intriguing. Like, it's one of the coolest parts of Star Wars because it reminds you so much of the original. The original is the dark underworld of Star Wars. It's the hive of scum and villainy. It's the cantina. When you think Star Wars, when you think of the original Star Wars, one of the first things you think of is the cantina on Tatooine, the hive of scum and villainy, and that's the underworld. And that's what Star Wars fans usually love and get drawn to. And that's what a lot of other Star Wars projects really focus on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I do have a trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, which comes out in 8 days. It's a minute and 30 seconds. It's the official launch trailer. So let's take a look at this. I'm actually going to put up a poll in the chat. See how many of you guys are excited for Star Wars Outlaws. I'm going to end this poll. End that poll and start up a new one. By the way, 57% of you guys do want more Luke, Leia, and Han. But 41%, the math is not mathing. 41% of you do not, which is interesting. Wait, why is the math not mathing? We had exactly 100 votes. What the hell? How does this make sense? John Groom, what's up?
Hello there.
Can somebody explain 100 votes, 57 to 41? Math ain't mathing. What is going on here? What is going on? Dead Mike says, I don't play video games. I'm an adult, bro. Yeah, me too. And I'm going to play the shit out of this game. Okay. Are you excited for Star Wars Outlaws? Yes or no? Yes or no? I know. Where's Finn Wickens been? I kind of want to reach out to him, see if he's doing good. He's still a member, so huge shout out to Finn Wickens. But he hasn't been around to say the math is not mathing, and Joe, that really brings back the flashbacks, you know? Okay, let's watch this trailer, shall we? This is a minute 30 seconds, the official launch trailer for Star Wars Outlaws.
Kay Vess, the underworld's favorite new scoundrel. This is your one shot. A safe filled with 157 million credits. And I can get you inside.
Get in. How about getting out? This job, it's a death wish.
Your lives are over. Your family, friends, gone. There's nowhere in the galaxy you can hide.
You want to live? Get in with the underworld's most dangerous syndicates. And pull off the greatest heist the Outer Rim has ever seen.
I'm in.
Okay, that just got me really hyped up. I'm really excited for this game because of where it takes place in the timeline and what it's giving us, an open world Star Wars game. But this did get me a lot more excited, I must say. So the main mission is this big heist that you're going to be doing. It's probably going to be the main storyline. You're working for this guy. Don't know if you can trust him, blah, 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 blah. There's a main villain. The whole gist. A usual video game has a main villain, a main story. That's what this game's going to have. But it's also an open world game, so you can go do whatever you want. You can go do smuggling missions, bounty hunting missions, while also doing the main story at the same time. So you can pretty much go do whatever the hell you want in this game. But this is talking about the main story and how they're going to be stealing 157 million credits or whatever he said. And that's going to be the main sort of objective. But it's sort of towards the end here where things get really cool. This is the inside of a Sarlacc pit, an eaten Sarlacc, I believe. And you're going to be getting to fight or run away from at least a crate dragon. I don't know if you're going to be fighting it, but you'll be at least running away from it. So crate dragon will be involved in this game as well. Crate dragons, Sarlaccs, Rancor.
You want to live? Yeah.
Fight the syndicates. This is Kiara. So this is Kira or Kiara from the Solo movie. She is now running the Crimson Dawn.
In with the underworld's most.
That's pretty wild, dude. She hasn't been back since 2018? 2018. So for the last 6 years, we haven't seen this character. She had the big cliffhanger ending where she was going to go train with Darth Maul. She's back. This is her. She's trained. She's done. She's in it. She's fully invested now. She is the heir to the throne of the Crimson Dawn. This is her. So you can see she's wearing the same thing that Maul was wearing in Solo. Whew. Pretty damn cool. I hope she's wicked badass. I hope you have to fight her too and she just absolutely destroys you. That'd be epic. Definitely wanted more Kiara. That's for damn sure. So you get more of her. She's the leader of the Crimson Dawn now.
Most dangerous syndicate.
You got some pikes here. This is the pike leader, I believe, that you see in the Book of Boba Fett, right? Is this the same guy from the Book of Boba Fett? Somebody help me out in the chat. Of course, Jabba, where you can go to Jabba's palace, fight his Rancor. Bib Fortuna in the house. You can probably see, not in the background here, but Han frozen in carbonite. Salacious.
Pull off the greatest heist the Outer Rim has ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's not just open world, it's open space around the worlds too. So you can go fly. It has flying missions, I'm sure. Like it looks like this is one here. But you can fly through space, go through hyperspace, and do stuff on the ground too. This is Nyx, by the way. He's kind of like the droid helper of this game, like BD-1 is the droid helper in the Jedi games. This guy's your helper in this. He's Nyx. He's cute. He's got razor sharp teeth, though. I'm in.
I'm in.
You can bet, like it's GTA in Star Wars. You can bet on horse racing. You can go play sabacc. You can go play mini games. You can be wanted by the Empire, like you get stars in GTA from the cops. Like it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so cool. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. And of course, a Rancor. Play 3 days early. So with the gold edition. So you can get it 3 days early, which would be next Tuesday or next Wednesday. And then if not, it's August 30th, which is next Friday. So there you go. I mean, that looks pretty exciting. Not going to lie. That got me hyped up. That got me really hyped up. Lee, what is going on? Lee's winning the lottery or something over here as he sends in another $5 holla. God damn it, Lee. Stop. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate it. It says, please do your best Mufasa. Did you say Mufasa? Oh, Mustafar. Do your best Mustafar scene from one side of the screen to the other. You're my brother, Anakin. Don't try it. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power. I hate you. And so on. Asking a lot. That is asking a lot, Lee, but I appreciate it nonetheless because you sent in so much today, so many super chats. I'm going to do it. So one side or the other, you mean like go like this? You're my brother, Anakin. Okay, I think I can do it. Well, this is not in order. This is not how the scene goes. I'll just go at the high ground and then you underestimate my power. Ready? Are you ready? It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power, Master. Ah! Don't try it. Chops off legs. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. I hate you.
I got a bad feeling about this.
There you go. That's the best I got. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. Did you watch the Indiana Jones in the Great Circle release date trailer yet? No. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. And the Emmy goes to? Oh, me? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, 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 no. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. Okay. That's what I would say. Everybody's like, no, 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 it's okay. Sit down, sit down, sit down. I'm like, no, stand up, clap, clap. Alien Romulus was good. Has anybody seen that? Was it really good? I have not watched it yet. I'm not a fan of the horror genre, really, but alien movies are pretty good, usually. Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. Indiana Jones is a new Indiana Jones game. Ooh, a video game for Indiana Jones? That sounds cool. I'd be down for that. By the way, 70% of you are excited about this Outlaws game. That's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. All right, was there anything else we wanted to get to here today? Oh, the more Plagueis stuff. Okay, so I want to get to more Plagueis. Even if the Acolyte does not get renewed for a second season, would you want to see more Darth Plagueis? I'm actually going to pull this up in the chat first for quickly. Do you want more Plagueis, even if it's not in the Acolyte season 2? Would you want to see more Plagueis? Whether it be in some other off-brand show where it's just him, or maybe his master Tenebris, or it's him and Chimere, or it's him and young Palpatine, would you want to see more Plagueis? What do we think? Dead Mike says, so what happens now with the Stranger? Are we just going to pretend like he never existed? I don't know. I really don't. I hope we don't, because the Stranger's one of the coolest characters in Star Wars. I certainly hope that we get more of him, especially just to learn his name. But Manny Jacinto did an incredible job with that character. I want to see more. So hopefully that's not the last time we see him. But Darth Plagueis specifically is a character that I need, not want, need to see more of. So what do we think, chat? Holy crap. 100% of you right now are saying yes. That would be a record breaking if it stays that way. But I completely agree. Seeing more Plagueis is a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. So whether it be an Acolyte Season 2, if it ever comes to fruition, or it's a Plagueis show just by himself with Chimere maybe, or just by himself in between Chimere and him searching for Palpatine, maybe a young Palpatine show and Plagueis is involved, whatever it may be, we need more Plagueis. You just brought the guy into live action for a brief second. People compared this appearance of Plagueis to Darth Maul at the end of Solo. It's not the same at all. Maul already, by the time of Solo's release, had come and gone. He came in The Phantom Menace. He was introduced as this incredible character. He gets chopped in half. You think he dies. Then he comes back in the Clone Wars, gets an incredible arc in the Clone Wars, becomes one of the greatest Star Wars characters of all time, and then he dies in Rebels. The same year that he appears in Solo, by the way. But he dies in Rebels. Or maybe it was the year before. Whatever. He dies in Rebels. So he's gone on a full arc. So seeing him in Solo is nothing like seeing Plagueis, because seeing Plagueis in Acolyte was the first time we've ever seen Darth Plagueis in live action. And we need more. We need more immediately. Whether it be Acolyte Season 2 or a Plagueis show or whatever it may be, we need more. So yeah, I think you'd all agree with me when I say that. Plagueis deserves better than hiding in the shadows. I mean, yeah, but no. his appearance in The Acolyte did the perfect amount. It wasn't steal the show type thing. It kind of did steal the show, but it wasn't. But it was giving us him in live action with the impression that there will be more. Oh, you guys want to see something cool? This is I'm so all over the place today. But look at these pens. These are pens. Vader and Anakin's Vader and Luke Skywalker's lightsabers, and they're pens. See? It's a pen. Pretty cool. Sorry, completely distracted. Okay, but we do need more Plagueis. And setting him up in the Acolyte Season 1 was obviously for a second season, but now you set him up for anything. Anything. Just set him up for anything. Yeah. Okay. I see a bunch of hell yeses. Absolutely. Yes. I'm grateful that Plagueis is still a Mun. Yeah, that was a big concern. Many people were like, oh, Chimere's just the canon version of Plagueis. Or they're going to change Plagueis' species to bring him into canon because Mun are too hard to make. Like, they did an incredible job. He looks fantastic in The Acolyte. So now I really want to see more. Lee says, may I please ask, what is your last Star Wars merch purchase? I thought Disney's Kylo Ren helmet was very nice. Or the dagger of Ochi of Bastoon. That's a pretty good one. Last thing I purchased from Disney. Or Star Wars, I should say. I usually get a lot of things gifted to me. But when I went to see The Phantom Menace earlier this year in theaters, I got this R2 popcorn bucket. So technically, this is Star Wars merch. It's R2-D2. It's a popcorn bucket. You can take his head off. Ah! Rip his head off. You can put popcorn in there. I actually did it for the Acolyte finale. You can actually put a liquid in his head, too. His head fits a liquid in it. Somebody clip me just ripping R2's head off, please. Other than that, something I paid for? Oh, Chopper. I got Chopper earlier this year, too. I bought this original... I bought this original trilogy. I believe they're VHSs. Yeah, VHS tapes from the original trilogy. I do not. Oh, shit. I don't even have a VHS player, but I have the VHS tapes. This is the original Star Wars. I believe this set came out in the 90s. This is the making of the saga with George Lucas on the cover. This is the stream where we just get distracted, I guess. And then this is Empire and Return of the Jedi. I'm not going to pull them out because they're stuck in there. See? Empire and Return of the Jedi. I bought that fairly recently. I don't know. Most of the stuff I get is gifted. Oh, shit. My styrofoam broke. Boom. It's got a cool little case on it, too. Look at, you can see the in the right lighting, you can see Luke right there on the cover. Okay. So, yeah. That's, I guess, what I bought recently from Star Wars. Yes, more Plagueis, more creepy fingers, Mr. Creepy Fingers. That's hilarious. More Plagueis seems inevitable. It does seem inevitable, but we've gone for 15 years without seeing Plagueis. Plagueis was mentioned in Revenge of the Sith as Palpatine's master. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? That was in 2005. Almost 20 years ago. So, I don't know. Maybe it's not inevitable. Was Plagueis his Sith name or his real name? It was his Sith name. Darth Plagueis. What his real name is? I actually don't know. I don't know. What is his real name? What is his real name? I have no idea. Yes, I want more. We just got to glance at him. I agree. Lee says, can we please get some ones in the chat if you think Mike is the best? Oh, thanks, Lee. Brandon says, if we get a new Darth Plagueis with his rival Chimera novel would be pretty cool. Well, I don't think Chimere's his rival. It's his Padawan. or his apprentice. Yeah. Wait, no, Maul appeared in 5 BBY in Rebels, in Solo in 10 BBY. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that he died before he appeared in Rebels. I'm more so saying that Rebels had already aired. His death had already aired before he showed up in Solo. I phrased it wrong, though. Fearless, I appreciate you. Don't worry about it. Alex says, if I were to replace... What? Oh, if I were to replace Kathleen Kennedy as the head of Lucasfilm, I would take a break from the live-action shows. I would announce a new animated show on General Grievous's story, about 12 to 16 episodes. Mando, Ahsoka, and Andor would continue as usual. But those are live-action shows. Interesting. So did Venestra spill the beans to Yoda about everything she knows that the Sith are active? She doesn't know the Sith are active. She just knows that her former Padawan survived. She doesn't know that he's a Sith. He would go down as a splinter order kind of deal. Yeah. He killed R2. I did, sadly. Sorry. I have the R2 bucket. Santa, you got the same R2 bucket? That's sick. It holds 20 ounces of fluid on the top. It's awesome. It is awesome. I've only actually used it once, though. Yeah. They could continue the Acolyte story in animation under Filoni's supervision and just title it a different name. They could definitely do that, but I don't know. You got Manny Jacinto, who's incredible in live action as this character. I want to see that keep going. Not the styrofoam. I know, right? His name is Hugo Damasque. That is an incredible name. Is that really his name? Hugo Damasque? That is way cooler than Plagueis. I'm going to refer to him as Hugo from now on. I think it'd be very funny if Venestra literally spills the beans on her way to see Yoda kicking over a can of beans or something. That would be hilarious. That would be funny. Pam Hill, what's up? Okay. I do have to get on out of here, though, so let's end this poll. Let's end this poll. Do you want more Plagueis? 88% of you said yes. 11% of you said no. What the hell's wrong with you? No, I'm kidding. Yeah. It seems like Plagueis is a no-brainer. More Plagueis, the better. All right. I think that's it. I'm losing my mind over here, and I gotta really go pee. So I appreciate all of you guys. Smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. Hit that subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video in my pretty face. It'll show up in the recommended feed of yours. How many likes do we got on the stream? Well, it's not too bad. Smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. Hit that subscribe. Blabbity bloobity blah. Yeah. The math is mathing. Oh, it's not mathing. I thought you said the math is mathing. Damn it. Okay. I appreciate you guys so much more than you will ever know. Let's celebrate 75K one more time, shall we? Oh yeah. Wow. It's absolutely insane. 75,000 was like just couldn't even imagine it at the beginning of this year. So I cannot thank you guys enough. This is absolutely insane. Whew, absolutely crazy. So I appreciate you guys, and may the Force be with you. Always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. No, Maggie, you're the best. I appreciate you guys. You guys are so nice in the chat. I appreciate it so much. It's all going right back to you. Much love to all of you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody. Oh my God, that must have been one of the longest ones ever, right? No? Something like that? Whew. Almost passed out. That was crazy. Should we just like hang out now, or Huge shout out to Lee for the very generous super chats, and Alex and the new members, of course. Shout out to James for being a great member for a month. Appreciate it. And to all of our new members as well. Hal Runner Base, of course. Lee, of course, who became a member as well. I appreciate it so much. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.